Every time Bitcoin crashes, the mainstream media headlines scream the exact same thing. Bitcoin is dead. Crypto is a scam. The bubble has finally burst. But if you look at the people who have been in this space for years, they aren't panicking. They aren't selling. In fact, they are usually buying more. Why? Because they understand a fundamental truth that most beginners completely miss. Bitcoin has been around for 17 years now, and since day one, the single word most associated with it is volatility. Bitcoin surges by mind-blowing percentages, but it also crashes by terrifying amounts. Let's take a walk down memory lane. In 2017, Bitcoin was sitting at around $4,000. By 2018, it skyrocketed to nearly $19,000. People thought they were geniuses. But just over a year later, it crashed all the way back down to around $3,000. Fast forward to 2021. Bitcoin exploded to $64,000. Everyone thought it was going to the moon. Then, in just 3 months, it crashed to $29,000. Half of its value. Wiped out. But wait, 4 months later, it shot back up to a brand new all-time high of $69,000. By late 2022 and early 2023, the market was bleeding, and Bitcoin bottomed out at $16,000. Then came the massive run of 2025. It broke 6 figures, hitting $106,000. 3 months later, a massive correction brought it down to $76,000. Half a year later, it surged to an incredible new peak of $126,000 for a single Bitcoin. And today, it is sitting right around the $60,000 mark. I am telling you this roller coaster of numbers for one very specific reason. You have to understand that volatility is just how the crypto world works. It's not a bug, it's a feature. When you can make 100% gains in less than 12 months, you must also be prepared to lose 50% or more in that exact same time frame. But here's the critical point. If you zoom out and look at any point on the chart, except for the very peak of the recent all-time high, the long-term trend is always positive. Over a long enough timeline, Bitcoin has historically always been in profit. The problem is human psychology. A person buys Bitcoin when the price is at an all-time high, the market crashes, and they are stuck waiting years just to see their money back. You are probably asking yourself, so how on earth do I know when to invest? The secret is that Bitcoin operates in cycles. There is a deeply ingrained mathematical and psychological pattern to this market. Investors who understand this cycle know exactly when to accumulate coins and when to step away. This cycle is part of what we call the Bitcoin Master Plan, a framework that has proven itself true throughout Bitcoin's entire history. I'm going to make a completely separate, highly detailed video explaining exactly how the Bitcoin Master Plan works. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss it. But for today, I want to protect your money right now, because understanding the cycle is only half the battle. The other half is surviving yourself. Here are 4 fatal mistakes that beginner investors make. If you can simply avoid these 4 traps, your chances of succeeding in this market will drastically increase. Mistake number 1. Trying to time the short-term market. A lot of people look at the chart and think they are smarter than the market. Let's say Bitcoin is at $80,000. They think, I bet it goes down to $75,000 tomorrow. I'm going to sell my Bitcoin now and buy it back cheaper at $75,000 to make a quick profit. This mindset is an absolute recipe for disaster. Over time, the probability of losing your money doing this is massive. You don't need to be wrong 10 times to go broke. You only need to be wrong once. Imagine you sold at $80,000, but instead of dropping, Bitcoin suddenly shoots up to $83,000, then $84,000, then $85,000. You are out of the market. You start panicking because you see the price running away without you. The FOMO, fear of missing out, hits you hard, and you crack. You buy back in at $85,000. But the moment you buy back in at $85,000, Bitcoin finally does what you originally thought, and corrects down to $75,000. You panic again, thinking this is the big crash, and you sell. Do you see what just happened? By trying to be a day trader, you just burned your own money. Stop trying to steal a few small percentages. The real life-changing money is made by riding the large, long-term trends. Mistake number 2, panicking over normal volatility. People come into the crypto market full of excitement. They buy some Bitcoin, and 2 days later, the price drops by 10%. They completely panic. They don't realize that in crypto, a 10% or 20% drop is just a normal Tuesday. When they get scared, they make emotional decisions, hit the sell button at a loss, and burn their hard-earned cash. The tip here is simple. Stop checking the price every 5 minutes. Expect the volatility. Embrace it. If you believe in the long-term value of the asset, short-term drops shouldn't scare you. Mistake number 3, chasing the next Bitcoin. I hear this all the time. Bitcoin is already too expensive. I need to find a cheap, brand new coin that will 100 times my money. This is a massive mistake. Thousands of new cryptocurrencies are created every single day. The vast majority of them are useless, and many are outright scams. The chances of you picking that one magical coin that explodes is basically zero. It is literally like throwing your money into a casino slot machine. And let's address the myth that Bitcoin is too expensive. When Bitcoin was $1,000, people said it was too expensive. When it hit $10,000, it was too expensive. When it broke $100,000, it was too expensive. Bitcoin doesn't care about your definition of expensive. There are deeply embedded economic and technological reasons why it reaches these prices, which I will cover in a future video. Mistake number 4, investing without a plan. So many people buy crypto without defining a single goal. Why are you investing? How long are you planning to hold? When will you be happy? At what specific price will you actually sell and take profit? If you buy without a plan, you might end up in profit after 10 years, but you will leave a mountain of money on the table. Because Bitcoin is so volatile, it gives you massive opportunities, but you have to actually take them. For example, Bitcoin is currently sitting around $60,000. But 5 years ago, back in 2021, Bitcoin also hit $60,000. That means a person who bought at the top in 2021 and just blindly held without a plan has basically made zero profit today. But during those 5 years, Bitcoin went down to $16,000 and up to $126,000. They could have doubled their money, but because they had no plan to take profits, they missed the whole ride. You need a strategy. Some of the most successful investors use a simple system. They might buy exactly $100 worth of Bitcoin every single Thursday, completely ignoring the current price. That is a disciplined plan. Others have a plan to sell 20% of their holding every time the price doubles. Whatever it is, have a plan. In my next video, I am going to reveal the Bitcoin Master Plan. I will show you exactly how to read these long-term cycles so you know when the market is offering you the best opportunity to hold and when it might be time to step away. Until then, don't try to time the market. Don't panic sell. Stop chasing fake coins and write down your goals.